Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the Punk Paradise podcast. As you can hear, I'm speaking English again. So it's another episode with a special guest. But first of all, hello to my co-host, Jan.
Hello, it's nice to be here again.
Nice. And now I'm pleased to welcome the voice of Chuck E. Cheese, the singer of Bowling for Soup, and our podcast colleague. So hello, Jaret.
Hello, how are you?
Fine.
So, do you guys know what Chuck E. Cheese is over there, or have you if you visit America, you figure it out?
I know it from a TV show, but that's it.
We made a podcast episode about Bowling for Soup, and therefore we search for you, and then we see that you are the voice of Chuck E. Cheese, and also I searching what Chuck E. Cheese is, and it's a fast food chain.
Yeah.
And it's a cool role. Or?
Yeah, it's great. It's what's great about it is that I used to go there when I was a kid. And my grandmother used to take me there all the time. So it's pizza and game, fun for kids, and beer for the parents.
Ah, okay. We got just McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, and some of them. But
came over as well.
Yes, but it's okay. It's okay. So, but it's a little opener. As a little opener, is there anything you would like to add, Jaret? Because you do a lot of more stuff than I said at the introduce.
I do stay busy. I have a few podcasts. I do Jaret Goes to the Movies, and I do Rockstar Dad Show with Gary from Bowling for Soup, and I do TV stuff, and I was on Phineas and Ferb all 9 years, and I have another band with my friend Kelly called Jaret and Kelly, and I have a band with Linus of Hollywood called Jarinus, and I manage a band called Not Your Girlfriends, and so yeah, there's a lot of stuff. That's about half of it. So I'll stop there so that I don't stress everybody out with my with the insanity of what it is I actually do.
We could fill a podcast episode with all you're doing in the music business and around.
It's when I tell my wife what I've got going on in a day, usually she just tells me to stop because it's she's just like, that's too much. I can't listen to this.
Yes, and you got a game store in the past. Also, you do a lot of things. Also, like neben der Musik, Jan.
You want to say that you're doing a lot of things besides music, like you had a gaming store.
Okay, so that was when I was a kid. Younger. I owned a toy store for a while. I built houses for a while. I built swimming pools as well, and that was kind of all back before Bowling started being really serious, more like 90 to 96, and then around 96 is when Bowling for Soup decided. We had been a band for a couple of years, so we decided that at that point we would take it seriously and really give it a shot. So, quite a long time ago, but we're still going, still kicking.
You're doing everything also.
Yes, that's true.
I had a question actually. When you decide to get serious, how's the process? Because I'm playing with some friends as well, so for fun. Mm-hmm. But how is it when you decide now? Hey guys, now we are professionals. Is it the mindset is changing?
Well, I mean, it was. Right. So, I mean, for us, it was just a matter of, and obviously that was a different time. It was before social media and digital music. And so just what we had to do and how we had to commit to it was, we got in a van and we started driving around the country and playing shows, whether anybody was there or not. So it was more of just about the commitment of hey, are we going to all give this 100%? You're going to miss stuff at home. You're going to miss weddings and birthdays and funerals and these things because we're going to go give this thing a shot. I think that's different now. I mean, in fact, like I said, I manage Not Your Girlfriends, and they're serious about what they want to do from a young age, but it's a different thing. It's still about commitment. It's still about, how are you going to spend your time? Are you going to work on the band, 12 hours a day, and then do your schooling and that stuff, and then get 6 hours of sleep? Or are you going to, that's the thing we just committed at the same time, and we went for it, and still doing it. So that's I guess what really where the process starts is everybody being on the same page and saying, hey, we're going to go for this.
Yes. And do you got a second question, Jan, or should I start with my story?
Oh, you can start with your story. I just wanted to ask.
Okay, for the start of the questions we had, I tell a little story. A story about how I found Bowling for Soup the first time. Also, you were one of the first punk bands I heard. I really only knew NoFX and Bad Religion until I discovered you, because I didn't listen to any music before that. By the way, it was 30, 40 years ago. This happened because I was writing about punk music with a friend of mine, and I wanted to show him punk music on a well-known German chat program called ICQ, and I typed punk rock song on YouTube. Then I found Punk Rock 101 and start listening to all the songs from you and learn to love them. This is a story how I found Bowling for Soup, and yes. Good marketing.
I love that. That's so cool. I think it's great that you listen to NoFX and Bad Religion, because that's what I listened to when I started. That was the kind of music that I listened to when I started Bowling for Soup as well. I listened to the Descendants and the Ramones, and then found Bad Religion and just thought that they were the greatest thing ever. So that's great. I'm glad that you found us so early and hung on and still listen to us.
Yes, I was 13. Also, I don't know. It was a time of my life where I don't listen any music since I found Billy Talent's Red Flag. Then I start to found the music again and start to love the music, because I write with some people and ask they which music they are like, and then I found the punk rock, also the pop punk, and yes, it was great. And you're one of the best pop punk bands, obviously.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we've definitely been around a long time. I like Billy Talent as well. Those guys are great and nice Canadians.
Mm. Yes, it has been a crazy time for you at 2000. What's time? 2004, 5? When you get when your songs get big and you get a Grammy nominee and something else. This must be crazy.
2003. The day that my daughter was born, we got nominated for a Grammy as well. And then Girl the Bad Guys Want was a huge hit, and then Punk Rock 101, and then obviously the next record came out, and 1985 was big everywhere, and then Almost and Ohio, and then it was a crazy few years. I mean, it's definitely not it's not something that we ever could have imagined. I think that we were just happy playing shows and putting out songs or whatever. I don't think that a hit song had ever crossed our minds. And then once you get one, you want more. And so, we were very lucky in that people were receptive to it. And those are still the songs that people get excited about when we play. So, we play all of the hits and make sure that everybody's singing along to everything, and it's amazing. It really is.
This is it. But you said Girl All the Bad Guys Want. I heard a version from the Reading Festival which you covered this song with another lyric. And how possible is it to hear this lyric with this rhythm and melody again on a real Bowling for Soup album or something else?
I don't know. I didn't write that. The radio station did, and I thought it was really funny. And it's crazy how viral it went. I mean, it was everywhere. And I will admit that at first I thought, you know what, I'll just redo it. And but I think that maybe it's better that somebody else does it and updates it because I think it'd be really cool if a younger band took that song and fixed all of the references to be more modern. But yeah, I that was super fun. I'm really glad we did that. But that was one take, and man, it was all over the world. It's pretty crazy how people latched onto it.
I find it interesting because I think many people who heard the song back then, and now you listen to the newer version, you can realize how times have changed.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like you're standing at your car and
the pager
driving to your neighborhood saying hello to your friends or neighbors. Now it's a lot of social media and a lot of things.
Yeah, you're very right. I mean, it's funny because there's so much pop culture in my songs that they do tend to do that. It's like, for example, if you go to, the song Ohio, come back to Texas, when you get to the middle of that, you're like, it's that song really shows its age. But there's a nostalgic aspect, I think, to that where people like to look back on it and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's definitely an ever-changing world, isn't it? I get asked what a two-way is all the time, and I'm just like, well, it's a pager, but you just don't know what that is anymore.
I remember, we're still, I think, quite young, but some kids don't know what a disc is,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And they're like, crazy thing is some people, I think in 10 years, nobody will be like, what is a CD? Because Blu-ray, MP3 and everything.
The question is, ask people now if you say no, a cassette disc, cassette for Walkman.
Yeah, cassette.
That's rare.
My son came in the other day, and I did the theme song to Jimmy Neutron. And so in my office, I have a what we call a shadow box. It's like a box that hangs on the wall, and it's just you put memories and things in there. And so I have a bunch of the toys and things from Jimmy Neutron, and my son, who's 7, came in, and in there is the CD, the soundtrack. And he goes, "What's that?" And I go, "Well, that's a CD." And he goes, "What's a CD?" And so I said, "Well, I guess you really wouldn't know what that is. You're 7 years old." So I said, "Well, do you know what a DVD is?" And he goes, "No." And I said, "What about a Blu-ray?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, that's the thing that you have the Smurfs on, and we can watch that down there." But even that, we don't even touch those anymore. They're just there. But you're right. There's going to be a whole generation of kids that don't know what that is. And in fact, my producer, Sean, is in his, I think he's around 30, and he doesn't even know, the cassette world. I mean, he's completely... Yeah, he's just, and I'm like, what? Yeah, no, I just went straight into DVDs. So, okay. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's definitely, and you know what? It's changing even more. There's kids today that are being born that will never purchase music ever. They'll subscribe to sites and they'll do those things, but to them, even the thought of buying a vinyl record or this probably won't enter most of their minds. There'll be a lot of kids that get into music in such a way to where they want to have a piece of it to hold, but it won't be anything like it is today. Fortunately, they'll always want T-shirts, so there'll always be a reason to go and tour to get them to wear Mass Intruder shirts on their podcast.
Yes, and in the last episode, I show my Masked Intruder poster.
Yes.
Yes, but yeah. sad story about the shirt. It was a shirt from the collector's edition of Masked Intruder's third album, also Masked Intruder 3. And when the disc came here they was broke. And yes, that's bad. But the good thing is I got a download too. So I got here. I could hear the songs, but the CD was broken. That's sad.
Oh, that sucks. That's terrible. I've heard of that happening with us, but did you get it replaced?
No, because it's got no Versicherung. Insurance.
He had no insurance.
The same thing I got when I buy on Amazon a CD from you with patent pending and the dolly rods. The CD works, but they got stopped in the middle of the song sometimes. So when I send it to the PC, also to make it on my smartphone, the break on every song is sad, but it's okay because I got Spotify too, and there I can hear it too. Because I like to collect CDs, also album, but yeah, that's a bad thing on buying CDs.
Right.
Downloads are safe.
I will see if I can get you another one of those. I believe I have some sitting around here, and I would love to send you one.
That would be great.
Yeah,
I would love to do that. I will message you on Instagram, and we will I'll work that out.
That's a cool thing. Thing. Thank you.
Of course.
So, Jan, would you like go to question 3?
Yeah,
Sure.
Of course. Like we checked, and we saw an article on Wikipedia that for one of your songs, it's listed that your neighbor played the drums in 2017 on a concert.
Oh yes, that's right.
It just says, yeah, my neighbor, but no name.
Yeah, that's right. So, what was the year? What was the year?
2017, I think. Yeah.
2017.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does it say where we are? Are we in New York or?
No, it wasn't. There's no place. It's just a year. And after that, another a neighbor play drums for you, and there it stands Emma Chamberlain. But I don't know if this is a joke or if it's true.
No, that is true. So my neighbor's kid came up and played drums with us a couple of times actually, and what I've known him his whole life, and that was really cool. So that's got to be what they're talking about. It's got to be the that he came up and played. But yeah, he's a good kid, still in a band and doing really good. So playing guitar now.
Oh.
That's a good instrument.
Yes, a guitar. I got a guitar in my living room in the corner.
Okay, right.
But he can't play at all. So he's
Right.
I also can introduce of the Super Mario theme. That's enough for me. So, but that's another thing. No question about my guitar skills. They are crap.
They're awesome.
Okay.
So I go faster. And our next question. Let's go back to the year 2009. This is a year in which you released the song Marina, and you got 2 music videos, the cute version and the version with the dick. And
yes.
At this moment, we Germans can see both versions, but at the moment, we only can see the dick version. Would you like to say something to us, or?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, what's funny about that, in some places, they can only see the puppy version. So that's actually good. But we did the dick version, obviously. Then we did the puppy version just because, we wanted to be able to show it wherever. But yeah, the penis version is kind of hard to find sometimes because it's not on all the outlets. So that's awesome that you guys still have that. That's a funny video.
Yes, but the cute version not. because I would like to share it, but I think the puppy version would be viral, and the dick version, okay, it would be reach some people, but not so much. But it's when you get.
I don't know why it's so funny how things are available in some countries. It's so hard to control, and especially because we're independent now. We've been independent since 2009, and it's sometimes hard for us to keep a handle on, making sure everything is here, and here. But it's something that I work on all the time. I'll see if I can get the puppy version into Germany.
Do you can upload it on Facebook or any other device? Because I think YouTube is stupid here in Germany. They strike a lot of music videos at a time of 2014 when they got
It was a license deal, but the license deal went out, and then YouTube was like, "Yeah, we ban everything so we don't get sued." Technically for music,
right? Yeah, it did that here for a while, but it's all cleaned up, so everything is everything.
Same in Germany now, kind of.
I find so much bands earlier and in the past, but at the moment, YouTube is something. It's not more the YouTube which we got 10 years ago, where no algorithm is.
It's like directing your way.
Yes, this is what I say.
like then you could listen to a band and the songs were running through, but now it's like they want to show you something completely different, and then you go from a music video, from Bowling for Soup, you go to
you find Fall Out Boy
makeup or something, and you're like,
right?
Why should I watch this? I'm not interested in makeup.
Right. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. It used to be way better for discovery, but not quite the same anymore. Hopefully they get that fixed. I think that it's pretty good about that here now, but it's been a process.
Do you got other platforms than YouTube, which we can find your videos, or only on YouTube?
What is the one? There's one called. Let me see if I can find it.
Because I think YouTube is the problem and not the music video.
Do you guys have? Oh no, I guess that's not it. Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I know that not all of our videos go straight to YouTube. I think they start out somewhere else and then it just feeds it. But if I figure that out, I'll let you know.
Do you manage the stuff by your own, or do you got a manager for Bowling for Soup?
I have a manager and a couple of agents and that stuff, but I make sure that I have a hand in everything that Bowling for Soup does, because it's me.
Yes, the most important thing.
Yes.
So, Jan, you're the yellow part.
Yes.
5.
Yeah, but I think I'll do 6 because
okay.
It's more managing now. You have many songs, like you said earlier, like Punk Rock 101, 1985. Is it sometimes the case that you're I'm a bit tired of playing the song, but the fans, they love it? Is it you like to play it, or is it more we have to play it?
No, I like it. I think that I definitely know a lot of bands that run away from things like that. To me, I've never understood that. If it's something that people like, and that's why they're there. And here's the way that I look at it. I'm a fan of music too. So when I go see the Descendants or Bad Religion, if I go see Bad Religion, I want to hear, the song, I want to hear the songs that I want to hear. So, and there's a reason why bands play those songs late in the show and they play them last or the encore, because they know that. So, no, I love it. People are like, you've been playing Girl the Bad Guys Want now for, 17 years. And I'm like, yeah, and it's great. I like playing it every night. It's very hard for us to decide if we have a show where, it's like, hey, you only have 30 minutes. It's like, my gosh, what do we leave out? That's very hard. So no, to answer your question, I do not get sick of those. In fact, those songs are what makes it super fun to be up there every night.
Have you ever thought about like, let's like do different versions of a song, like a cappella version of 1985, for example?
Yeah. Well, I've done acoustic versions of everything multiple times. There's the live albums that are out there.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's now we have you guys got the piano music over there yet?
Yes.
Yeah, you got that. And so, it's like definitely try to kind of keep it out there and interesting. But an a cappella version actually is a pretty nice idea.
We sing for you in the background.
Yeah, we do it. No problem.
Yeah, that's a pretty like a barbershop that like.
When you came to Germany, we stand on the stage in the background and make this move.
Yes.
Like this, like never leave of the song.
Yes. What is an experience with a fan which you will never forget? Good, bad, whatever.
An experience what?
Experience which you had with a fan of yours.
Oh,
like a
okay.
good one, or
you
like
will
a
never
bad one.
forget. No.
I will admit that I get a lot of those. I mean, I'm pretty lucky in that our fans are very invested in us, and they're very honest about what our band means to them, and that, I mean, I have several memories that I'll never forget. Somebody sharing, that maybe it was something that they had in common with their mom or dad, and their mom or dad passed away, and that our band is what makes them feel better because they had that. There's always those things. And every day I'm reminded, like if I'm just out, and someone comes up and says something to me, it's incredible. It's very hard to put into words how lucky I feel, just to be able to do what I do, and how appreciative I am of people, just still paying attention to us. So that's a hard question for me to answer because there's just so many. Like I said, we have the greatest fans in the world, and they never cease to amaze me.
I think it's often like the case. People like connect like a song, like to memory which they had.
Right.
Like, you hang out with your friends in the summer and you always listen like to Don't Stop Believing, and then it's like your favorite song. That happened to me, for example.
Right. Yeah, it's very true. It's you and you guys are young, but you'll realize, as you go forward in life, like music makes you feel a certain way, and then you'll be somewhere 10, 12, 15 years later and you hear a song and it just you can smell that same smell and you can feel those same things, and like it's odd. Sometimes you can't put it into words. Sometimes you can't say, here's exactly the way that this, but still something inside you internalizes. And that magic to me has always been a very big draw because I was so into music as a kid. And so just the fact that my songs are able to do that for people now is a big part of why I'm so happy doing what I do.
So I searched a question from Ramona. She is a host of the Punk Paradise 2, but she cannot be here because her PC is not working at the moment. But we should say hello to you. She wants to greet you.
Hello.
And she got a question because since Eric has been left the band for almost a year, we have been wondering how he is doing. Can you say something?
He is doing really good. Do you guys have Facebook over there?
Yes.
Facebook, I think?
Yeah.
You can follow his Facebook, and he just released a new video, and he's doing music again. And so he's living in another state now. He got remarried, so he's married and happy and living in Tennessee and making music again. And he's always going to be our brother, and we love him. I mean, we taught his birthday just passed, so got to text with him a little bit. But yeah, he's living a different life now, and like I said, we're family. So when he does put out music, it makes me very happy. I love it. Because he's such a talented guy and needs to be doing that.
Is it possible that he will be back at Bowling for Soup, or is Rob still forever Bowling for Soup?
Rob is forever Bowling for Soup. Rob is in the band. 24 years with Eric in the band, and it was great. But I think when someone leaves and then you make that commitment to someone else. I mean, Rob has really brought a lot to Bowling for Soup. He's brought an energy and just there's an element of fun that Rob brings in that we were maybe just it fits so perfectly. Mm-hmm. So no, Rob is he's a member of Bowling for Soup, and as far as I'm concerned, hopefully the four of us ride off into the sunset.
Mm. That sounds be nice, but I hope he's still in Patent Pending, because I like Patent Pending too, and a lot, yes, because I like the spirit of the band and everything.
Yeah. Well, as you know, with Patent Pending, I mean, there's always guys coming in and out of the band, and but Rob, when Bowling for Soup is not busy, Rob is absolutely in Patent Pending and still in the photos and happy to be there.
That's a good news. That's a good news, and therefore I go to our last question. Okay, Jan first.
If you said you guys you go into the sunset, which song do you hear in your mind when you think about it?
Probably Friend of Mine.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, then I try it again. Then to our last question. It's maybe about Rob, maybe it's about you, maybe it's about Patent Pending, it's about Bowling for Soup. Also, our fans sent us question, and the most question was, when do you came back to Germany? And wait a moment, please take Patent Pending and Army of Freshmen to Germany. That would be for me a dream.
Yeah, well, Patent Pending, I think, have been over there with Zebrahead and with Simple Plan, I believe. But yeah, I would love it. Patent Pending are our little brothers. Obviously, we stole their guitar player. We love them. Joe and I actually just spoke yesterday. Would absolutely love it. So it's something that we're discussing. We're hoping that what anchors it is festivals. If we could just find the right festival or two over there to be able to come and then play some shows around it, that would be great. So fingers crossed that happens in the next little bit of time.
Also, and concerts are not possible, or as support for something big?
Yeah, concerts would be great. That's what I'm saying. It's like if you can get a festival, then you can get over there, then you can play concerts around there. Okay. But it's just a matter of economics, I guess. Mm. Just to make it make sense to get there. Because logistically. Yes, logistics is
that's am Ring, for example, which is like a big festival in Europe.
Absolutely.
It would be like, hey guys, come over, and then you're like, okay, we are in Germany anyway. Then let's plan our tour around.
You're exactly right. So that's what we're looking for, and we're actively looking for it. So hopefully soon. Yes, I hope. So, so when I look at the clock, my English. So when I look at the clock, I see that we've been talking for quite a while. So I would like to finish the episode. So thank you very much, Jaret, for talking for taking your time for us. You've been a great guest, and you're always welcome again. I hope you had a great time as well. I did. I'll come back when I have more time next time. You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
And when you come back, we will do a cover, for the new version from 1985.
Perfect. And when you not came back, we will come to your podcast.
Yeah, okay. Over.
The podcast takeover.
Yeah, we'll just take over.
Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, it was great.
That was great. We would like to thank all our listeners. We will be back with a new episode next week. So also, auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.
Ciao.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Shine on.